The House, a movie that has a style of its own and 3 different parts to it, giving it an anthological feeling. It's dark, creepy, and extremely thought-provoking. Here, I'll be breaking down all 3 endings of the movie, so let's get into it. Here is The House ending explained and review. Just to let you know, there will be spoilers. Let's start with the ending, as there was so much to unpack from it. In the final third of the movie, we see Rosa finally give up the hold that the house has held on her for the entirety of the 30 minutes. We see a future where the world has been flooded, but still, amongst all of the devastation, the house that seems to be cursed since the 1800s still stands strong, and is the only thing that remains in the nearby surroundings, highlighting just how strong this house is that was built. We see Rosa battle internally for the entire runtime with the passion and love and hold that the house has over her, and the unwillingness for her to leave it, something that the house has been designed to do and inflict on its owner. We see Elias leave, then the other tenants, and as they do, she comes to the realization that she can't stick around and wait for the devastation to continue, and likely eventually die. She has an epiphany. We see her climb to the top of the house as the house is becoming afloat, which I think symbolizes the break in the curse. The initial rule that we see at the start is that the house has to stay on the land that it was built on, and with it breaking away from where it was originally plotted, that could mean that the curse is now broken. I think the fact that Rosa looks so liberated and free also symbolizes the curse being lifted after hundreds of years on the property. She can now take the house wherever she wants to without the hold that it once had on her. It was a great way for the movie to end and wrap up the 3 different time periods and stories that we got to see unfold. Now to the review and other endings in the show. Part 1 for me was my absolute favorite out of the 3. We got to see an extremely creepy, dark tale where this style of animation was really allowed to add value to the tale that we were watching unfold. The large round heads with the small eyes, noses, and mouths made it all the more haunting to look at. I think the overall premise of the first story, set in the 1800s, is set on being obsessed with others' opinions and materialistic objects and things in your life. I say this because at the start, we see the external family members come round and judge the main family based on their lifestyle, house, and belongings, leading the father to get drunk and to go out and essentially agree a deal with the devil, meaning that they can move into this luxurious house that has not been built yet, where they will be the talk of all the people. This is the origin story of the house. Being the talk of the town was clearly something that they cared about a lot. As they move into the house, we see the parents gradually lose touch with reality and start to neglect Mabel and Isabel, their children. They were given outfits which foreshadowed the ending. Papa looked like a chair and Ma looked like a curtain, which in the end of the episode they did turn into. I think this symbolized the need and necessity to find pleasure in the things that don't actually matter that much. They themselves became materialistic objects. All Mabel wanted was to be back in their old house where they were together. They had it all when they lived in their small house in terms of love and time, but they made a deal with the devil and the devil won, claiming the lives of the father and mother and rendering Mabel and Isabel orphans as they watch on and see the burning house in the distance. It was a powerful ending. I have to say that Mr. Thomas was phenomenal in this part of the movie. He was one of the creepiest characters that I've seen on screen. The voice acting from Mark Heap was great. As Chapter 1 came to a close, we were then taken to the present day where we have a mouse that is renovating the exact same house, but in what would be today. He is in a severe amount of debt as he's trying to transform the house, and the house is riddled with bugs that he can't seem to shake off. As the episode goes on, we see him become more and more obsessed with wanting to sell the house. We see 2 viewers go on and essentially stake claim in the house and refuse to leave. We see the main mouse phoning somebody who we believe is their partner throughout the entirety. However, it's revealed later on that he was in fact phoning his dentist, leading us to think that something isn't quite right. We go on to find out that it seems like he has a mental health problem and ends up in hospital after succumbing to the fumes of the repellent that he's lying down. We see a welcome home party for him where everybody is clapping, almost like a cult, which was extremely unnerving. And I thought it was executed really well in delivering the creepiness that it wanted to express, especially with the synchronization. It's then revealed that the mice are in fact these feral beings and are destroying the house slowly. Then, in the final shot, it's revealed that the main character has become one of the things that he spent the entire episode fighting against. He was unable to sell the house and move on because the house had the hold on him. The moment he ended up in that house, he was never going to be able to leave it. It was a great part to the movie, but I would say that I did prefer the first part. This then led us on to the final part of the movie, which is set in the future. I won't touch on the ending as I did that at the start of the video, but I thought that this was probably my least favourite part. It resolved nicely, but I did find this narrative the least engaging and interesting out of the three. I didn't really connect that much with Rosa or find the animation and stop motion as strong as the first and second, but I did find it resolved the movie in a natural way and with an optimistic view, which I appreciated, as it would have been easy for there to be a dark, haunting end. Overall, I would say that I did thoroughly enjoy this movie. It works well as a movie, but also I could see it as a 3-part anthology series. I definitely could have watched a feature on the first part for certain. I loved the way that it looked, the time period that it was set in, and the haunting nature of it. The other 2 sections were extremely strong, and this movie is definitely worth watching. What did you think of The House? What was your favourite part? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.